The Grade 1 Golden Horse Sprint will see a full field of 18 runners come thundering down the straight at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. Last year's winner recorded a speed of 63.68 kilometers per hour, clocking a time of 67.84 seconds for the 1,200 meters covered. That's fast enough to get a speeding ticket, and perhaps little wonder why racing is an adrenaline rush. Dean Kannemeyer's Gimme A Prince tops the boards and is a worthy favourite.
Sprinting from that 1,000 metre mark.
Recent Cape Flying Championship winner Gimme A Prince goes for a double of Grade 1 wins over the sprints.
Gimme A Prince, Rio Querari with one late lunge to the wire. Gimme A Prince from Rio Querari.
Well, I think he's one of the better sprinters in this country, and we could see that last time in the Royal Stakes, badly drawn and came from nowhere, just give you half a length by top horse too. It's more condensed the weights now, 60 to 54. It used to be 60, 52, and it was always very difficult for those horses at 60. Sometimes up and coming youngsters at 53, quite difficult to beat. But nevertheless, getting back to the race, he's doing exceptionally well. He won a Group 1 over 1,000 metres. He won the Merchants. He's won all those sprint races in Cape Town. Drawn on the outside, you never know if the rain comes. It could be in the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the inside. We saw it last week and there was a bit of rain. Had one of the favourites on the outside who wasn't in his favour. But nevertheless, I'm talking about a bit of rain. That's Tuesday evening, talking about a bit of rain coming through. But hopefully it's only a light bit of rain and we have no rain going into the big race itself, because then it could be on any side and that can be a little confusing.
Equus champion sprinter Rio Querari returned to winning ways in the Grade 3 Champagne Stakes last time out.
Big race. Rio Querari is back to winning ways.
Rio Querari makes his debut in the Golden Horseshoe Sprint. His first year he was eliminated. In the second year he had a rating of 130, which meant he would give away a lot of weight to the field. So this is the first time that I feel that he's comfortable and at a rating that makes him very competitive. He's a class act. I do think he will be fine at Scottsville, and I do expect a good effort from him, and there is a good chance that he could fight this out.
Seven-time winner William Robertson ran second to Isivungu Vungu in the Grade 1 Johnson Workwear computer form sprint just 5 weeks ago.
He's really well and doing some really good work. So hoping that his Natal season will be fruitful for us again this year. He's done very well over the sprints there last year, and we're attempting again this year. It looks like his sweet spot is between 12 and 1400, and we're going to try and stick to that. This is the only one of the Group 1 sprints on this day that we haven't won as a stable yet, so we're keenly looking forward to try and add this trophy to our trophy rack, and we'll travel straight into Scottsville, and like we always do it. That's always worked very well for us. I really hope William can do it for us. He is well, and I think he is a big runner on Saturday.
Listed sophomore sprint winner We're Jamming has been competitive in his 6 races since, finishing on top of stablemate Rio Querari in the Grade 3 Champagne Stakes, and meets him again on the same weight terms here.
We're Jamming looks amazing at home for a horse at this time of the year. He has just arrived in Natal this week. He's travelled well. He flew in from Cape Town on Monday morning. All has gone to plan. It is a very competitive race for him, and obviously adjusting to the Scottsville track can sometimes be hit and miss, but he is doing well at home, and we would not have travelled him all the way unless we thought he did warrant some respect here of his rating, remembering that it is a handicap.
Seen winning over 1,000 on the Highveld in October is the well-travelled Bartholdi, who has since been placed behind Gimme A Prince in the Grade 1 Pondrats Cape Flying Championship.
Then came Bartholdi and Princess Gala.
Bartholdi, obviously last year's runner-up, we found that he was really unlucky last year. Although he had the good draw on the inside, the pace of the race all seemed to be down the middle, and we landed up being caught behind horses that didn't have the speed to be with those horses and making a late run, just not getting there in time to beat Elysian Chief. This year we got another good draw. I think it all is going to depend in this type of race, how the race works out. But he is a horse that he enjoys this track. He enjoys the testing 1200. His preparation coming into the race has been spot on. And if things in the race go our way, he could be a massive runner.
Supreme Warrior fought out the finish in the Grade 2 World Sports Betting Guineas last year when touched off by Zapatias. It was deja vu 6 months later when Supreme Warrior and TAIKONAUT looked to cross the line as one.
Supreme Warrior, he's a horse that's been a little bit disappointing of late. He's a horse that we have the opinion is steeped with ability. He just doesn't seem to be putting it in the latter part of the races. We do know that there is a slight issue there which we're managing and we're keeping on top of. We've opted to put the blinkers on him. We've seen an improvement with that in work, and if that can be the game changer to just help him focus and finish his race better, he's the type of horse that could come up and surprise you.
The filly, Under Your Spell, won the Grade 2 World Sports Betting Hawaii Stakes over 1,400 metres in March. She's since been twice Grade 1 placed, including against the Colts in the HF Oppenheimer Horse Chestnut Stakes when going the mile. She looks well held by Desert Miracle when beaten 5 lengths at level weights in her penultimate start.
Desert Miracle goes on to score.
Under Your Spell gave us a little bit of a flat run in her last start. I think she's freshened up quite well. I'm very happy with her work. I think she has a decent weight at 54.5, multiple group winning filly. And yeah, she'll be competitive here. It is an open race, but I think she'll run well. And it will be great to see her give a massive account of herself, as this is probably her last run in the country.
Previous Bantry Bay Stakes winner SURJAY raided from Crawford Racing Satellite Yard in Gauteng to finish 4 lengths behind Trip of Fortune in the recent Independent on Saturday Drill Hall Stakes over 1,400 metres.
SURJAY is doing very, very well at home. Couldn't really be happier with him going into this race. He did suffer a little bit after the drill hall. He had a bit of heat exhaustion post-run, so I don't think he naturally ran to the best of his ability on the day. I think with the Durban heat that was just on that day, it caught us a little bit off guard, and yeah, it obviously didn't help him in his last start. But he's doing exceptionally well at home. He's absolutely flying. I couldn't be happier with where we have him going into this race, and I think he's a very big run in the Golden Horse.
Multiple graded stakes winner Seeking the Stars needed his last run back, having been off the track a year.
Ideally, a 1,400 is his distance, and he's really a good horse over that distance. Having won a 1,600, he won the Green Point. But our options are limited this season. We missed the drill hall. He was still trying to get him fit. He's extremely well at the moment. His work has been really, really good, and he's drawn favourably. So historically, it's always been better towards the inside, and when you get the odd bit of rain, then it might change. I'm sure that he'll run a very, very good race. He looks magnificent, and his work has been superb.
Thunderstruck runs well at Hollywood Bet Scottsville, having won the Grade 1 gold medallion last year. He'll need to reproduce that form.
And Thunderstruck will win it by about 3-4.
Thunderstruck returns to Scottsville, where he won the medallion last year. He's had a bit of a stop-start racing campaign since then, but I feel that he's in a good space here, having his third run after a rest. I think 54 for a Group 1 winning 3-year-old is a good mass to have in this race, and I think he's going to run really well.
Countdown won the listed East Coast Sprint in March, before finishing 3 lengths back to Rio Querari last time out. He meets him on similar weight terms again.
We galloped him the other day at Scottsville, and he needed it, so I get to go back on the grass on Monday, but he put up a far better work on Monday, and I was really pleased with him. He's just starting to throw a winter coat. Last year he did the same thing as a 2-year-old, so it's just one of those things. So he'll probably come with a trace clip to the track. It'll be the first one we've clipped this season because the weather's been amazing. he's quite an interesting horse because we brought him back to sprints again, and he's come back to his form. He ran in the Group 1 at level weights against the best and got beaten 3 lengths. Now those same horses from the Cape, Justin Snaith's sprinters, have got to give him a couple of kilos, been a handicap. So I'm hoping he's going to be competitive. Yeah, he's a lovely little horse. It'll be great for the guys.
After the rain made William Robertson run in the Grade 2 top bet Mike O'Connor Joburg Springs Challenge. He'll need to show that turn of foot once again.
He won't be weighted best in the race. Having said that, he will enjoy carrying 54 kgs. He's a big horse and it will be nice for him to have that light weight. His preparation has been great. He's really, I expect a peak run from him. And jockey-wise, Atsandiwa Mgudu was riding full of confidence at the top of his game. There's a chance that he might now be better over the 1400 after the rain than the 12, but definitely expect him to beat more horses home than what beat him home. I think if he finishes in the money, we'll be delighted, but I don't think he'll disgrace himself, and definitely a horse that'll give of his best and a lurker in the race.
The Stuart Ferry-trained Gladatorian won the listed in full flight handicap when going the 1100 at Hollywood Bet Scottsville.
Whoa, Gladatorian's going to do it.
Yeah, listen, his prep's gone really well. He hasn't put a foot wrong since he's come back from Cape Town. So listen, he's fit and well. 3-year-old probably not that well in at the weights, but for a highly rated 3-year-old, there's no other race for him, so you got to take your chances. Draw's not really an issue. He tends to come from off them a little, and his best form is at Scottsville. So tracks he's suited to. He's coming well. The field obviously is it's a Group 1 sprint, so the filly's it's obviously strong. But like I said, there's no other options for a highly rated 3-year-old, so we'll take our chances and go from there.
Full Velocity is a 6-time winner from 1,000 to 1,200 metres. Having finished 2 lengths behind Captain's Ransom in the SA Filly Sprint last year, she now takes her chances against the Colts.
Golden Horse Sprint is a really tough handicap. It's a very strong field, competitive race. Full Velocity has done very well at Scottsville. She's drawn well. I think she's had a reasonable prep, and I expect her to run well, even though this is a big ask for her.
Good Traveller is looking to regain the form that saw him run second in the Grade 2 Post Merchants in July last year.
Good Traveller's coming well, but Valdorcia won it from Good Traveller.
Good Traveller, this is his 3rd run for me, after he's come up from the Cape. He was a very good 2-year-old, as you know. He hasn't really hit his form, for quite a while, but he's in a good space. He's doing well at home, and I managed to get the handicapper, to drop him. He was very, very high for a long time, and they used a bit of common sense, and with his weight of 54, I think he must have a chance. It's a very competitive race, but he's fit and well, and he's looking magnificent.
TAIKONAUT won the Grade 3 Libello Sprint last December and will be looking to regain that form.
Warrior, TAIKONAUT very close. Wow, we need the judge.
He's a 3-year-old gelding by twice over. He's now a 4-time winner. His last run was in the computer form sprint, where he incurred quite a big penalty for running just off them. But he's doing well at home. He'll travel down to Scottsville on Friday morning, arriving there sometime in the afternoon. He's not too well drawn at 15 with Muzieni in the irons, and it's a very competitive field, but hoping for a good run.
Yeah, big field, great race to win, and difficult race. The best sprinters are around, and it's a competitive race, and it's going to be one hell of a race.
Tell me, as a jockey, having ridden at Scottsville, what is it like to ride the 1200?
Well, it's quite easy. You got to save a little bit, for that last 300 meters, because you climb slightly to the finish. The only time it gets a bit difficult is, if you've got a horse that you've got to hide away a bit, and that comes from a run, because sometimes you can't get a run, especially in a big field. and B, you know, you've got to follow the right horses that can tow you along, you know. So the draw is important. It sort of favour, I would say, the middle inside, you know, lately. So, I mean, you know, where we're drawn, we've actually drawn in the middle, so, you know, I'm not too concerned about that.